That Robert Pattinson will face more than one opponent in The Batman has been known for quite some time. However, the fact that Jonah Hill could be one of them should be a big surprise for most people. But so far, there are disagreements about which villain Hill will play, since the media reports contradict each other. Some think he has potential as Penguin, others see him more as the Riddler. Justin Kroll from Variety even thinks that he is still in conversation for both roles, as he announced on Twitter. So which role fits better to Jonah Hill? At first glance, many would probably say the Penguin, at least in terms of appearance. Moreover, the Penguin is more associated with Danny DeVito from Batman's Return, while the Riddler is inevitably associated with Jim Carrey's performance from Batman Forever. The magazine Collider, however, believes that Hill is more likely to be a candidate for the role of Riddler. They argue that on the one hand, the role of the Penguin is too obvious and doesn't fit into Matt Reeves' reboot style. On the other hand, they draw the comparison to Jim Carrey, who also switched to more serious characters after some comedy roles. As you can see, the current situation still offers a lot of room for speculations and rumors. But Jonah Hill seems to know this, because according to Justin Kroll, he wants to get paid $10 million. As a comparison, Robert Pattinson is supposed to get only half of the money in his leading role. At the moment, there is also Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon from the Gotham City Police in the discussion. Until the cinema release in about 2 years, some more actors will join the cast anyway. Until then, it only needs to be waited for official announcements. Big sigh of relief for all Spider-Man fans, because after a short but very public break, Sony and Marvel now seem to have decided to continue making common cause about Spider-Man, as announced on Friday. In addition, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige is commissioned to produce the third part of the Spider-Man MCU series. The popular Tom Holland will also be on board. The details of the contract were discussed and signed on Thursday night, with a 25% profit share and in addition the merchandising rights at Disney. A release date for the Spider-Man movie has already been set. The Spider-Man movie is scheduled to be released on July 16, 2021. Further details will certainly be announced in the near future. Initially, the One Direction singer Harry Styles was desired for the role of Prince Erik. Due to a cancellation of Styles, the search restarted a few weeks ago, and like the magazine Deadline now reports, there are currently 2 candidates who have already made test recordings for the studio. These are Cameron Cuffe and Jonah Hauer-King. Cuffe celebrated his film debut in a supporting role in the film Florence Foster Jenkins and might not seem too familiar to most of you. Hauer-King has experience in several family movies as well as in Once Upon a Time in Staten Island by the Purge creator James DeMonaco. 2 relatively blank sheets and no real comparison to pop megastar Harry Styles, but at least it remains visually quite close to the comic. So far, the supporting roles have been much more prominent, with Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, Awkwafina as Seagull Scuttle and Jacob Tremblay as Fabius joining the cast. An exact release date for the Ariel remake has not yet been set, but a release will not be possible before 2021. Good news for Jurassic World fans, since in the upcoming third part some well-known characters will reappear. To be more precise, Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler and Sam Neill as Alan Grant. This was announced by Jurassic World director Colin Trevorrow during a screening in Los Angeles. As Deadline reports, the roles will also be significantly bigger than in Goldblum's puny cameo appearance in Jurassic World 2. The story after the second part revolves around the dinosaurs freely wandering the Earth, which results in some conflict potential with humans. Jurassic World 3 will be released on 11th of June 2021. Marvel mastermind Kevin Feige fulfills a childhood dream, and for the first time in his career he will produce a film that has absolutely nothing to do with the MCU. Of course, we are talking about Star Wars, but the question that inevitably arises is whether this will be a one-time thing or whether Feige, as rumored in the past, could even switch completely to Star Wars in the future. However, we can quickly give the all clear, because Kathleen Kennedy will continue to be the boss of Star Wars. Disney boss Alan Horn explains to The Hollywood Reporter that it would fit very well with the end of the Skywalker saga that 2 such extraordinary producers like Feige and Kennedy will work together on a Star Wars movie. More information hasn't been made public yet, it's only certain that a great actor is as good as committed. Who this could be is currently the subject of speculations. In some fan theories, the name Robert Downey Jr. is circulating, but it's still too early for a confirmation or denial. But hope always dies last. Concerning the potential release date, one can already make a vague statement, since Disney has often said in the past that they don't want to release a Star Wars movie every year anymore. So 2020 and 2021 are likely to be eliminated. The next official dates are December 2022 or December 2024. Until then, the last movie of the Skywalker saga will be released on December 18, 2019. The Joker, like his character, has been collecting headlines for several weeks before the release. In addition to the positive reviews at various film festivals, a critical open letter to Warner Bros. And Cernoff has now been published, the authors of which are victims of the 2012 Aurora, Colorado rampage. One man stormed the premiere of Dark Knight Rises, killed a dozen people and injured many more. To make matters worse, it is said that he called himself Joker, but this was never confirmed. Now, back to the letter. There is no demand not to show the film. The letter clearly emphasizes the right to free speech and free expression. The authors of the open letter also make it clear that in their opinion there is no connection between violence in films and violence in reality. The request in the letter was that Warner should use its power to draw attention to the problem of armed violence so that, according to the authors, people don't have to go through the same thing as they went through. So Warner shall also participate in the demand for stricter weapon laws. Warner also responded to the letter, pointing out that Warner's parent company AT&T had long been involved in an initiative by various US companies against armed violence. In addition, they believe that films must provoke, whereas the Joker does not approve of real violence. Joaquin Phoenix also made headlines when he was asked in an interview for an opinion on the issue and promptly left the interview to talk to his PR agents. Director Todd Phillips considers the debate to be completely wrong and also refers to movies like John Wick, which do not play in a fictional world like the Joker. As you can see, the discussion is currently highly emotional and won't calm down that quickly. But one can be sure of its victory, at least financially, as Warner will be happy that the whole world is talking about the Joker movie, regardless of the content of the discussion. The Joker will be released in US cinemas on the 2nd of October 2019.